Welcome back everyone. In our previous video, we had discussed on how to develop the GUI part of your Android application. The GUI part consisted of several layouts, some text was there, one picture was there, and also 3 buttons were there. Now, what is pending here is embedding the actions to all these 3 buttons. Unless and otherwise we do this logical part, your app may be opening in your mobile phone, but it will not be working as intended. Why? Because whenever you are clicking on this call button, nothing is going to happen. Same for the other 2 buttons. Everything what we discussed in the previous video was regarding this designer part. That is, here you can see 2 buttons are there. One is designer and second one is blocks. So all the graphical user interface is being done using this designer. Designer was having 4 separate parts. That is, the user interface was there, that is inside this palette, then viewer was there, components were there, and also properties of each and every component. So all this we had covered in the previous video. Now we are going to start with the block section. Block section is essentially the portion where actual programming is going to happen. But don't worry, over here we will not be writing any codes by our own. Instead, we'll be using some basic kind of Scratch programming interface for completing the logical part. How the Scratch programming interface is different is, here you will be getting several blocks which you can just drag and drop in order to create workable kinds of logic. But in standard coding languages, you need to type all the code in the space provided in order to make a program to run. But over here, we just need to drag and drop. It is as simple as that. So let us start with the coding part. So for that, first of all, we should be having a definite idea regarding our designer itself, that is the graphical user interface. So here, as we already know, we need to give logical options to these 3 buttons alone. So for all these 3 buttons, we need to write some code. So first of all, let me start with the first button, that is the call button. First, what you have to do is, from this block section, you need to identify the call button first. To identify that, you just click on the call button and just see what is the name for the call button that is specified over here. So here you can see, whenever I am clicking on the call button, button 1 is getting highlighted. That means that is the name for the call button. You can even rename this button by using the rename command over here. So we already understood this call button is not the name button 1. So in the blocks, what we have to do is we need to click on button 1 first. So now you can see several blocks has appeared over here, and from these blocks only we need to do something. Before explaining the coding part, let me again tell you, whenever you are clicking on the call button, automatically a number has to be dialed from your phone's default dialer. That is the thing that have to be done. So for that, what you have to do is, first you have to go to the block session. You need to click on button 1, and whenever button 1 is clicked, that is our first block. You can simply read, it is just layman English alone. When button 1 is clicked, what is to be done? That is what is written over. So just drag and drop this thing to the viewer part. So when button 1 is clicked, do something. As I already explained, whenever the button 1 is clicked, a call has to be routed. So for that, I have to include some additional component. Let me search in the palette phone call. Here you can see another component is that phone call component. So we can just drag and drop this thing to here. But it is not appearing in the viewer, correct? But still it is in the component section. Why? Because this is actually a hidden type of component. So if you are scrolling down a bit, you can see a non-visible components section is there, and underneath that phone call 1 has appeared. Now you can just click on phone call 1, and the phone number you can give it over here. Let it be some phone number like 99999123455. So I have given one phone number also, but this is not over yet. Why? Because in the block section, I need to include, like whenever the button 1 is clicked, something have to be done. That link have to be given. So for that, again you can see here, just scroll down and see, here one additional phone call 1 component has appeared. So just click over there and just see several actions are displayed over here. So here in the purple color, you can see 2 actions that can be directly dragged and dropped inside this thing. The first option over here that is used in order to just say type in your phone number using the phone's default dialer. But if you are using this option, it will directly initiate a phone call using the number in the phone number profile. You can just hover the mouse button over each and every blocks in order to get some help also like this. Okay, so I will just go for the second option, make phone call directly. So I am just dragging and dropping, and whenever I am bringing this close to the button 1, that block, you can see there one yellow colored snap is happening. Okay, so whenever that yellow color is coming, if I am just leaving my mouse, you can see directly it has snapped to that block. So that means for our first button we had completed the coding part. Here we need not write any hefty codes. You just need to use the Scratch programming interface, and you just need to drag and drop blocks in order to create chunks of code. So now let us go to the button number 2. Button number 2 is email. So again, button 2 I have to select from here, and whenever the button 2 is clicked, something I have to do. So here also we need to include some kind of code. So for that, again we can go to the designer and we will just search for email. Here email picker some command has come. Let us see whether it will work fine or not. Let us just click on the help. Email picker is a kind of text box when user enters the name. Okay, this is not our actual needed kind of block. So when you are getting time, make sure to read through the help that is provided here. So directly you will be understanding email picker is not the thing whatever we need in order to send the mail. Instead, what we can do over here is there is something known by the name activity starter. So you can just search activity starter MIT App Inventor. So at that time you will be getting a link. Just click on the link and just see. You will also just search for mail in this. Okay, so here several things can be completed using the activity tracker command, out of which here we need to check for the mail alone. Okay, so for that only I just searched and I found out the mailing option. So here you can see, in order to start the Android mailer action, use the action Android indent action view. So several things are written on. Anyway, I'm not explaining all these things in this video. It's very basic. You can just go through this help in order to understand all this. And again, it is not regarding sending mails alone. You can see using the activity starter command, you can start any phone application. So here you can see, you can start the camera, you can launch a web search, you can open the browser to a web page, start the mailer, show a map. So likewise several things are there. Anyway, now we will just stick on to this mailing option alone. Before going through this, I will again take my interface part and I will include the activity starter. So here you can see whenever I am searching, I am getting that option activity starter. You can just drag and drop it over here. So again, it's also a hidden command came here. So here you can see activity starter 1. Its name is activity starter 1. So I will take blocks. Then I will scroll down and see where is activity starter 1. So for starting the Android default mailer application, that is your Gmail or any other email client in your mobile phone, you have to use the action android.indent.action.view. So I will just copy this and I have to include this thing in the action area of the activity starter command. So I will just see where I will be able to include that. Here you can see set activity starter 1 action to something. So I will just take this thing, I'll just leave it over here, and here I need to type in my code, because code is given here android.indent.action.view. This is the command for that. So action have to be set like this. So for that, here one text field have to be there. So here we will see where is the text field. Yeah, here's one text option is there. Just click over there and scroll up. Here you can see one empty option you will be getting. Just like before, you can just leave it and it will stamp to its position. And in this box, you can type in android.indent.action.view. Yes, I have set the activity starter 1's action to Android indent action.view. Now what? I have just completed up to this. Then you can use activity starter's data URI property to specify the recipient, subject and body of the message. That means apart from action, I need to include something on the name data URI also. So for that, again I will take the activity starter 1 and I will just see where is this data URI. Yeah, it is here. Set the activity starter 1 data URI to something. What is that something? So here you can see in the first example also some data URI part is given. action we need not worry about because action already I have set. Okay, so android.intent.action.view, it is already set here. Here you can see it's already set there. So data URI is only this part. Either this one I need to take or this one I need to take. You can see here the mail to address is given, nothing else is given. But here mail to address is given, the subject line of the mail is given, and also the body of the mail is also given. So let us just copy this one and I have to paste it inside the data URI. So for that again I will take the text, I will just scroll down this, it will snap fit, and I will paste this one. And I need to modify this message also. Instead of mail to this one, I will just type in free courses. And in subject, I have to take something else. Instead of please Sandha, I can just type it. Okay. And instead of body, I can just type. I have one down. That's it. Okay. Again, should I leave it here? No. This also have to be inside the button to click itself. Okay. So both the things I have set it over here. Now one thing that you have to keep it in your mind is, even though I have given all these required commands, to start this activity whenever the button is clicked, I need to completely specify there to start the activity. So for that again I will click on activity starter and you can just drag and drop this thing, that is called activity starter 1 start activity. So now what is going to happen here, whenever you are pressing button number 2, that means email button is, first of all the action, it is already set. Second thing, data URI, that means all the required data will be fed to the application, that is the Gmail application or the default email application. For example, the mail ID will be given, subject will be given, and also body will be out of it. We have just finished setting up the first button and the second button. Now the third one also we will just finish now, that is visiting the website. Visiting the website, it can be done in two separate methods. First one, just like we did with the email application, we can make the link to open in your default browser, web browser, or you can open the link in this application itself. So for that, what you have to do is, you need to create a second screen. So as you know, this is the first screen or screen number 1. We need to create a second screen also, so that the second screen will be able to display the web link whenever you are clicking on this link. So for that, we will just see here there is an option add screen. Click over there and you can give a name also. So I will give the name as website and I have to click on OK. Make sure to remember this name, that is here the first screen name is screen 1, second screen name is website. See, W is capital. Again, as always, I need to hide this website part, so for that we can just click on title, not this. Now inside this website there should be a web browser kind of thing. So for that I will just search web here, and here you can see there is something wrong with the name web viewer. Just see the help, everything will be written. What is it about? Command for viewing web pages. So this is the thing what we have to use. So I will just drag and drop this here. Again, I will just set the alignment also, so that everything will be working perfectly. Horizontal alignment and vertical alignment, both I have set it as center itself, and the web viewer I will just set that to fill the page in both the directions, so that everything will be displayed throughout the screen. Now what? I have set everything, but I didn't give my website here. So for giving my website here, is an option, home URL, one option is there. So in this option I can just give my website. So I have given my website link also. Now I need to link from screen 1 to screen 2, because this one is screen number 2, that is not the name website, and screen 1 is this one. I need to get a link between this button and my screen 2. Whenever I am clicking on this button, screen 2 need to open. So for that again I will go for the blocks, and button 3, whenever it is getting clicked, what have to happen, and the screen need to be opened. So for that you can take this control, and in this you can scroll down, and here you can see open and the screen, and here screen name is also there. You know the screen name is website. So again, text you can take, an empty thing you can take, you can just snap it here. Here you can type in website. Okay, so whenever you are clicking on button 3, what is going to happen means it will search for this website screen and that website screen will be opening. Okay, so that's it, our application is ready. In our next video, that is the final video, I'll be showing you how to test the application in a emulator that is offered by MIT App Inventor itself and also directly in your mobile phone. And in that, we will just polish the application a bit more and get it ready for distribution purposes. So that's all for the day. Thank you.